Welcome to another edition on our channel. I wanted to show you Tony Stark, Iron Man. This is Mark 85, Battle Damage Exclusive Edition. On the off chance that you wanted to get this figure, he's still out there. He's out of stock, but you can still get him on eBay. You can get the clean edition or the Battle Damaged edition. And you can get the collector edition or the exclusive edition, which has a hologram shield and some attachments and that sort of thing. But I choose to pose him very simply to kind of as a memorial to his last scene, so to speak, where he sacrifices himself and destroys himself in the hand. I don't even have him on a stand. But I want you to know that if you decide to get this figure, he's not perfect in terms of 1/6 scale. He's actually 32.5 centimeters instead of 30 centimeters. So that basically translates to almost 12.8 inches, which is, of course, close to 13 inches. So he is definitely larger than 1/6 scale. And just so you can get a feel for what he looks like next to a 1/6 scale figure, here I'm going to bring into the scene Wade Wilson. And just understand Wade is on a stand. So if I lifted him a little up off the table, this is how he would look in comparison to Wade Wilson. So he is definitely taller than Wade Wilson. So if you like this size, the challenge you might have is, where do you put him? Where do you pose him? And of course, kneeling can help, but I actually found a solution that works for me. So let me bring the stand back and let me get him back into a kneeling position. Hopefully I can get him situated so he can kind of be on his own here. Let me turn his body a bit. Let me get his head over. Yeah, there we go. So of course, he's a big boy. And I thought, well, you know, I have a figure, and it's a Kotobukiya figure. And he is way too big compared to regular Kotobukiya figures. I mean, Kotobukiya figures tend to be smaller than Hot Toys figures 1/6 scale. And I thought, my, this guy is big. He's huge. Who am I going to pose him next to, or should I sell him? And I decided when I saw the two, they might make a pretty good match in terms of size, especially if I move Tony Stark up and Spider-Man back a bit. They really go together well. So yeah, so if you want to get this figure, just know he's larger than 1/6, smaller than 1/5, but closer to 1/6. And you're going to have to figure out, are you going to pose him alone or with some other figure? And if you want to pose him against some other figure, the Kotobukiya Spiderman is a pretty good choice in terms of height parity, I guess. The other thing I wanted to point out is that you know, sometimes these stands are pretty nice looking. They're meant to look like asphalt or what have you. But if you had a figure that didn't have a stand, like you were customizing, and you wanted to have them on something that cost you nothing, go to a lot that's empty and start looking around. I had a chance to do that today, and I found some asphalt. What's neat about this, if I can turn it Actually, let me move it this way instead of diagonally. There you go. Is that it's kind of basically it's a match, but it's broken. So these two pieces do go together. But somewhere along the way they broke apart. I really like stuff like this. So if you can kind of get it close together with the right figure, it might look pretty darn good. If you can get it to stand. Yeah. Yeah, so not saying you should put Iron Man in asphalt. He has his own stand, but if you're customizing and you want something to work, that definitely is an option. And it won't cost you a penny if you find something that literally works. Let me bring out one more. All right. So this is a smaller piece of asphalt. Let me put it this way. It's straighter. And again, you can see that it is one piece that broke somewhere along the way. Not a absolutely perfect break, but close enough. And you could, again, put a figure on top of that standing or kneeling or what have you, and it would look absolutely great sitting on it even. So it's something out of nothing. Just takes a little work trying to find these things. It took me maybe 20 minutes to find these two pieces out in a back lot near our place. So let me put this one back. It's my little pitch for something out of nothing. And let me show you how to turn on the lights if you decide to get this figure. It's pretty darn cool, I think. All right, so, and that's the hardest part is trying to figure out where the batteries go and how to turn this guy on. So in the back is where the chest lights and other lights are. So there's a little kind of tiny opening here. You just kind of put your fingernail in there. And I hope I can do it without too much effort. But you will get in there and pull up. And this thing hopefully will come out. So it looks like this. Let me turn it around. There we go. And then you'll find a place in the back where you, with the right screwdriver, you can unscrew this, take this piece off, put 3 batteries in, put it back in. And unfortunately, the switch is never on the outside on these Hot Toys figures, but it's right here. So you would then turn it on. Then you would put the piece back in to place, and it will clip it right in very nicely. So he not only lights up in his chest, but there are a couple lights here, a couple lights here, and a couple lights here. And on the back, you're going to see some lights there as well. So, I mean, he's got lights all around the place. Now, if you want to turn on the lights for his hands, that's where you have to get behind his upper arm. And let me see if I can just move this out of the way and do this a bit better. So it's the gold piece right here. Kind of move this maybe up a little bit, get underneath this piece, and then just maybe I pull his arm out a little bit, get a better grip on it, and just pull that piece out. So, and it looks like I did a silly thing. I put the batteries in, but I forgot to put the case back on. I don't know if you can see it. See the batteries there, right? But it'll still work. You can see the hand light up. All right. And then, of course, then you have to put this piece back on. This is the frustration I have with batteries, is it you have to take the piece off, turn the light on, put the piece back on, and then when you want to turn the light off, you have to do it all in reverse order. This is the same way. This arm is the same way. You have to kind of get him the gold part again. Just get behind it and pull it up and out, and the switch will be there as well. And it will only turn on if you've got this piece attached to it. This is what makes the connection work. So we turn it on, and I don't have it in there good enough, maybe. Hold on. There we go. Now so you got to mess with it and make sure that the connection is doing its thing. But you'll notice it really doesn't, it's not like vibrant, out of this world lighting for the hand. It's okay. So we'll pause, we'll get him on a turn tray, and then we'll kind of turn the lighting in the house down so you can see him a bit better, and then we'll get close-ups from there. So we'll pause right now. We are back. And this is how it looks with the lights off and then on. My husband is quickly turning on the lights as we speak. So he really does look fairly good with the lights on in dark light. I mean, the chest light is vibrant, as are the little lights on the sides of the body. This is not as vibrant, the hands, but that's typical, I think. The source has to go a longer way to light up the lights. You'll see the other light when we get them on a turn tray, so we'll pause right now and get them on a turn tray so you can see them from different angles. We are back, and he will actually stay in this position if you get the balance just right. You won't even need the attachment for the stand, and I think it just kind of gets in the way. He looks more realistic this way. So let's kind of go around and see him from different angles with the lights on. This is a really cool figure. I just wish it was smaller. And I love it that he has more than just the chest light on. Those other lights on the front of his body and on the back of his body, I think makes him more vibrant overall. So we'll pause now and get a tighter close-up. Try to get a close-up of his hand and kind of go around, and then his face. We might be able to do it in one cut. Yeah, I think we can do it in one cut. We are back, and the lights on this guy are just absolutely amazing. He has 7 lights in the front to include the chest light. He has 4 lights in the back. And you can see the hand light here that he's looking at. And of course, on the other hand is another light. They're not as vibrant as the chest light and the other lights in the front, but you can tell that they are on. So we'll pause now and get a real tight close-up of his face. I think this deserves another roundabout, so let's do it one more time. The blood on the side of his face is very well done. All right. There you go. Here's one last look at Tony Stark. I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, please have a great day.